say anywhere between 30 and like 60 years. Somewhere in that
apparently,
ballpark.
it really depends on which fucking dolphin.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, there's a lot of different kinds of dolphins.
Females can live 90 years.
Jesus. Okay, well, there you go.
Long-ass living dolphins.
So yeah, dolphins, yeah, big sea mammals tend to live a pretty long time.
That's gonna be like that's gonna be your character arc, Eric. You're gonna like go from where you're working now to eventually like at the end you'll be working with the whales and the dolphins.
I'm fine with that.
Like-
I just like working with animals.
Like petting them and like taking care of them in like a big old pool.
I could work in a zoo or something.
You could. Taking care of dolphins, you'd be great at taking care of dolphins.
I don't know, there's some ethical issues with dolphin taming and the like.
It's true.
I know that from what I've heard about killer whales, that's essentially like a full stop. Do not put killer whales in tanks anymore.
They're only known to kill people.
It
if they're
literally
in
drives
tanks.
them insane.
Yes.
Like it is torturous. They know, like if you put them in with other killer whales, that would be like taking like random children from like 10 different families in 10 different towns and then putting them all in a room being like, see, you're all the same thing. It's like your family. You can be friends now.
What is the
like they know that they were taken from their parents. They're smart enough to know that they are no longer with their family who was like teaching them how to do whale stuff. And now they're just with these 3 random strangers in incredibly tight confines, and it drives them insane. You know, they're too smart, basically. Like they know too much. they get existential
They know
crises.
too much.
Like they do though. Like they start to get bitter.
They have the
and
mental
angry.
equivalent age of a 15 or a 16-year-old human.
Yeah.
That's fucking smart.
Yes.
That's insanely smart.
That is that. As I said, they are ridiculously intelligent and doing as much as you can teach them to do some very complicated things. It's kind of ethically not worth
that's
the
fucked up.
consequences there. Like that is, we know too much about how much they know at this point.
Yeah.
To be able to morally and ethically like do that to them anymore. Like unless you could get like a setup where like you're just like partitioning part of the bay and like the animal's allowed to like leave and come back at will. Like
Yeah,
you
how
could
big
probably,
do you think like captivity has to be for a killer whale for them to be okay with it? It has to be huge.
You would essentially just have to train wild ones to come back.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would be the only ethical way to do it. That I
You
can
could
think
like
of.
feed them at the bay or something.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, okay, well I can come here and get food.
Yeah, you can get them into like you'd have to somehow get them to understand to come into like a shallow area or something like
Dude,
that.
how cool would it be to have your own pet whale? Like if you were the guy who like got to be like, yeah, I feed the whales every
Maybe
morning.
that's something I could look into for a future career.
Yeah, dude.
Ethical whale parks. Like,
Yes. You could be the guy who has a whale. You
We'd
could
have to, like-
truly be Mako Tsunami. I said you were half Duke Devlin, half Mako Tsunami. You could truly like achieve your destiny.
I think one of the problems with that, with killer whales, now that I'm thinking about it, is that their normal environments are nowhere near places people habitate.
Is that right?
Well, think about it. Think about any footage you've seen of a killer whale eating in the wild. What is it doing?
I don't know. I've never seen any footage of a killer whale eating in the wild.
They're like flipping seals off of pieces of floating ice.
Oh, is
in
that
the
what they
ocean.
do?
Yeah.
That's
They're-
fucking brutal.
Oh, it is too. Like, there's this really funny scene. It's terrible, but it's hilarious. Where you see these people who have like rescued this like seal and like cleaned it and like gave it all of its vaccines and recovered it, and they're letting it go in the wild. And it's like going to the edge of the ice, about to go into the water, and a killer whale comes up and eats it immediately.
It's so fucked.
Just immediately eats it.
Why are seals so funny? Seals are inherently
Seals are like
funny.
sea dogs.
Have you seen the?
They're like little dogs in the ocean. They're great.
Have you seen the video titled "Seal Doesn't Want to Go in the Water"?
Nah.
It's amazing.
Seals are adorable. You know,
To
hence the
go.
like clubbing baby seals thing.
True.
You know, that's why it's so cruel, because that was how you would get their pelts. and they're so slow on land, you just run up to them with a club and beat them to death.
Wait, was that a real thing?
Yes, you kill them with clubs, and because you don't want to harm the pelt. So you just go up to the baby seals, and they can't get away from you, so you just hit them with a club.
Here's
You just run up to them and whack them.
Patrick, put this up.
Maybe you use nets or something. I don't know.
Put this up playing on the screen.
It's pretty awful though. Okay, what do we have here?
Just let it get close enough to the microphone where the microphone can hear it. Patrick, just play it on the screen simultaneously.
There we go. Dig. Egg. Egg. God, I love it.
He's so stupid.
What is it, little buddy?
He didn't want to go in the water.
Oh, I want to pet him.
I know. He does not want to go in the water.
Look at that little sea dog. Oh, sea puppy. Oh, he's so cute. I love him. Blair.
They just sound like big fat guys.
It's funny that you say that because there's an old recording of this English man who had a seal as a pet.
As a pet?
Yeah.
What did he do with it?
It was like injured or something, so he like brought it in one day and he like fixed it and it would like follow him around and stuff.
Just kept it in his house?
Essentially.
Okay.
And it just, it stayed his friend. And the fucking seal, there is a recording of the seal was able to copy the man's voice.
Like the exact way he sounded?
He was able to... when you hear it, you actually believe it too, because God, that does sound like a seal, but he figured out, and what he would say was like, get over here, get over here, get over
here. That's so sweet.
It was what his master had always it kind of had his accent too. He was like, get over here,
that's so sweet.
And he could say it back to him, and so someone with like a phonograph or something was like, that is the most interesting thing I think I could ever possibly hear. So I'm gonna record that. And so there's like this really old recording of a seal saying, get over here.
That's adorable.
I was like, that's amazing.
There's what about those like Saudi Arabian princes who have like a tiger and like and a wolf and like all the cool animals like a giraffe and an orangutan that they just hang out in their living room with? You could be that guy. That could be your future. That's like after you've tamed the whales.
I gotta be completely honest. Working at a dog shelter and having 4 dogs now at home.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes have dreams where I have like other animals like lions and tigers and shit like that.
See?
And in the dreams, all I'm thinking of is, oh God, I can't let the tiger out with like the the dogs or anything like that. I'm just like, I gotta do this, that, and the other because those guys are gonna fight. And I have to make sure this guy isn't bothered by that one. And
you're seeing visions of the future,
the
Eric.
Leopard is in the house.
You could have a monkey. Would you ever have a monkey?
I would no. Actually, I would never keep a wild animal as a pet.
None of them. There's not a single one where you'd be like, hell yeah, that's dope.
Just wild animals in general don't make good pets.
Okay, but if this podcast we just start making bank and we can get like our own complex. We have to get a monkey.
Okay, if I could afford all the necessary stuff, I
gotta get a podcast monkey.
I could like rehab a monkey or something like
Absolutely.
that. I wouldn't. Part of the trick is you don't want to like pay into the exotic pet trade thing because there's a lot of
like an orangutan
going on. Yeah, where like people buy an orangutan and like have it in their apartment in New York. And
have you seen the orangutan driving the go-kart around?
Oh yes, I have seen that.
We could have that, dude. He could drive us around town.
Those are like zoos and rehab centers and stuff. Like, you know,
If we have unlimited cash, dude, we'd have podcast money. We'd have podcasting money. We'd have plenty of money. The perfect amount to keep an orangutan.
okay, I mean, if we could like own and operate a zoo money, then
Yeah.
yes, okay. I just don't believe someone should have one as a personal pet. Like, that is dangerous, is potentially very bad for the animal, and, you know.
If it wasn't, though, what would you want to get?
If it wasn't bad for the animal,
if they were
like,
totally legit,
if I
like,
knew 100% that I could take care of all of its needs and
yeah,
all that,
yeah,
and,
and
like, there would be
and
no
they're not
problems.
like dangerous or anything. What would you want to have? Would you be the guy who'd get a lion? Would you get a lion?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, the ironic reason is because it's actually dangerous. Like, I would like that would be so fucking intimidating for like other people. Just
You'd have
like,
it on a chain in your living room.
like, yeah, this is this is my Siberian tiger. You know, his name is Mr. Frumples.
I wonder what I'd get, dude. I wonder what I'd want to get. It's like a cool ass
Like
animal.
an elephant.
An elephant would
Something
be
you
pretty
could
cool.
ride, you
Dude,
know?
an elephant would be badass. Having like a best friend that's an elephant.
God, like that. I mean, what is the biggest, strongest, most terrifying animal that humanity has ever ridden into battle?
A hippo.
Elephants.
A hippo. Well, yeah.
If you could get a hippo, yeah,
Dude,
that would be the new answer.
I don't
but
want a
I don't think
hippo.
anyone has ever been able to ride a hippo. Hippos are not conducive to being ridden.
Elephants are so smart, though. I feel like the elephant could be your best friend. I feel like a human and an elephant could be best friends if they were on an island together and it was just the two of them.
I could be best friends with an elephant. If
Absolutely.
if I was stranded on an island with an elephant, are you kidding me? The elephant would help keep me alive.
Absolutely. Like the
he
elephant would be like,
I would need his help.
elephants are fucking
Get him
smart,
to
dude.
help me get food and stuff. Like,
Teach him to like get stuff out of trees for you.
yeah,
Oh my god.
and to boost me up into trees.
You could have you could have little
You know,
elephant
if
babies.
he was kind of small, I could climb on his back to get into trees, and if he was like, really big elephant, like he could just like boost me up with his trunk or whatever.
You could
but,
have babies. You could have little elephant babies.
I'm
Little
I'm
half
not sure
human,
what
half
the
elephant.
implication is. That,
Little-
yeah,
Little
okay.
hybrid babies.
That wasn't my first thought.
It'd be like
I think I would need to
like
do
an
some
Arthur character.
vague genetic engineering to make my balls capable of creating elephant babies. But
Elephants are smart, dude. The elephant can figure it out.
yeah, okay.
What's the what was the elephant guy that was like the they've got the children's books written about him? He's basically like a guy with an elephant head.
Oh, geez.
He drives like a
shit.
fancy car and shit.
Oh,
You don't remember that guy?
oh. Shit, at first I thought you were talking about like the Elephant Man.
His name's like Wamwo or
guy
something.
with those terrible like deformations.
No,
that,
no, like the
Michael Jackson bought
no,
the
no,
bones
it's like a
of or whatever.
children's. It's a children's book.
I was very confused.
It was
for
a
second
children's
there.
book about a guy who had
It
an
was like
elephant
an
head.
elephant, and it was in a suit.
Yeah, he was an elephant businessman.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Shit, I never read those.
That could be your child. Like 30 years down the line, that's him, dude. He's got the head of an elephant, the smarts of a man, and the dignity and pride of your people, of a white man. He'd be half elephant, half white guy. He's booked for success.
Yeah, I mean, Africa doesn't stand a chance against that.
You could ride him into battle, dude.
No. Jesus.
God, what was his fucking name? It's gonna bother me.
I know what you're talking about because I remember there was some sort of other work of fiction that was technically set in the same universe.
They had a wait. Was it the little monkey one? Curious George? Yeah, was it Curious George?
No, I don't think so. No, it was a very unrelated work of fiction that you were like, wait, why would those two things be related?
Just share the Marvel Cinematic Universe of children's books together.
No, it was something really weird though.
The
like,
Hungry Caterpillar and Elephant Man.
maybe it's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
The fucking what?
In the comics that is based off of are off the fucking walls, dude. I saw a thing about those not too long ago. And like
Babar, dude.
Babar.
Babar.
Yes. In fact, yes, I believe Babar's definitely in. I think he is in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Really? Let me look it up. Babar.
Yep, or at least his where he rules is like the place he's from or whatever. That is like canon in like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because they take literally anything from like fiction from like certain time period.
Yes, Babar, King of the Elephants.
Yep, it's in there. Yep.
Why is that a thing?
That is a thing. I knew it. I can't believe I figured out what the reference was in. I was like, I didn't even know anything about Babar, and then the guy explaining the thing was just like, yes, and that's Babar, like from the fucking children's book or whatever.
Babar and the Adventures of Badao. Although the series features a majority of new characters of the Babar universe, some of the original characters remain, such as What is this?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Babar.
Computer animated children's television series that premiered in 2010. There's a fucking TV show of Babar, dude.
Again, not a lot of knowledge of Babar over here.
I bet Babar gets fucking puss, dude. I bet Babar
smashes some mad puss.
Absolutely. Yeah. Imagine if you had a fucking elephant head and you could just like go to work and flaunt your giant elephant ears.
I'll tell you where you'd really be big. Not Africa. India.
Oh my god, dude. Indian women would line up to fuck Babar.
Oh, they absolutely would.
Babar's harem?
Yes.
We should write Babar's harem.
Honestly, sounds almost like it more should be about an Indian elephant. Like,
it does, yeah.
For some, now that we say all this
Babar
out loud.
moved to Dubai and found 17 wives to share a house with him.
I mean, he's a big, successful businessman. I don't see why not.
Babar's erect penis was 16 inches long, and the women shared it thusly.
Wow.
We should write that, dude. We should write Babar
Babar
gets a harem.
Fan fiction.
Erotica. Is that a thing? Is Babar erotic fan fiction a thing? If so, can we read it?
Yes. I'm going to say 100% yes, there is Babar erotic fan fiction out there.
Babar erotic.
And if not, we need to capitalize on that shit right this second.
Yes. We need
like log into your Chat GPT account or whatever. We are gonna get to work.
Dude, I could ask the AI on my phone to write a Babar erotic fan fiction.
I'm just saying the tools are out there. You know, and people are gonna start like burning through this quicker than ever. Now that like AI art and the chat bots are like, you know, becoming more available and more sophisticated.
I'm not finding anything, dude.
Oh, dude.
I'm not finding anything.
Dude. Okay, we need to work on this before we upload this episode then, because like, I mean, at this point, like, you know, this might be untapped ground.
We should get the AI to write a Babar erotic fan fiction right now on the podcast. We have to do that.
Oh, fuck, do it.
Yeah, we have to do that.
Get it on there.
I'm waiting on the ad to go. I've got to wait for this.
One of those kinds of apps.
Yeah, I gotta have it. I gotta wait for the ad to go before I can do it again. But the moment this thing's up, I'm asking it to write Babar erotic fan fiction, because I bet you money it can do it.
You want to know something funny?
What's that?
I have never downloaded an app on my phone
at all
that has the pop-up advertisements like that on it.
I never wanted to.
Like, I always see those on all the kids' phones and stuff because they're downloading all these crappy games from sketchy websites and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nope, I just have the normal functional stuff on my phone.
What should we tell the AI to do? Write me a Babar erotica fan fiction?
Yes, write a Babar King of the Elephants erotic fan fiction.
Babar King of the Elephants.
Erotic fan fiction.
It thought I wanted Skylanders instead of elephants. That's not right, phone. Babar King of the Elephants erotica fan fiction. How many paragraphs should it be? Just 5 paragraphs?
Yeah, let's do a 5-paragraph essay.
5 paragraphs.
Real common high school kind of stuff. We don't need anything too complicated here.
Yeah, let's see what it says. Sorry, I cannot fulfill this request as it goes against my programming to generate inappropriate content.
Well, this is what you get for getting the fucking free version.
This is what you fucking get, dude.
See, first we wait through an advertisement, and then it says, no, not gonna do no sexy time stuff.
Is there a way we can get around it? Can I word this to where it doesn't say erotica?
I feel like if you don't...
It's not going to be funny or like
Yeah, we gotta sneak sex in there.
romantic Babar.
Romantic
Yeah.
King Babar?
Yeah. Write me a Babar King of the Elephants a romantic fan fiction.
We might could get somewhere with that.
Okay. Babar King of the Elephants. Romantic. No, not the Entourage. Elephants. Elephants. Romantic fan fiction. What do we got?
Very interested to see where all this AI chat stuff goes.
Oh, this is where it's going, man. It's made for Babar romantic fan fiction.
Just don't think about trying to figure out what's real and what's not in the next 10 years.
Damn, I should have specified like Babar X Mario or something.
Well, if it understands what we mean by it, it'll say no, and if it doesn't, it'll just produce something that's not very interesting.
Oh my god.
Wait, did you get it to do?
I did.
Did it work?
I don't think it's going to be anything like... Babar pulled her into his arms and held her close, inhaling her sweet scent. They gazed in each other's eyes, lost in the moment, and in that instant, Babar knew that there was no obstacle
I'm sorry.
they couldn't overcome together. He vowed to always love and cherish her, even in the darkest of times. And, it's not sexy. It's just, like, sweet. It's kind of like, apparently Babar has a wife, and her name is Celeste.
If I wanted a healthy relationship, I'd just go back home to my wife.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just go get...
And we would just enjoy each other's company. And,
you know what we need to do?
Sit with each other and, do things together and have
like
a
what,
functional
dude?
relationship.
Like what?
I don't know, sex, video games, just, hang out with the dogs, healthy relationship stuff. But I don't want any of that.
I want Babar. I want sexy Babar.
Babar in a harem. Filled with black midgets getting anally penetrated.
I want Babar doing some funky stuff with his
dressed
nose.
like Rick Sanchez. I want him wearing 1 foot long high heels.
What is this visual you're painting?
All to be punching me in the dick.
I want Babar to hold me and spread my legs while a small army of midgets in foot-long high heels punches me in the balls while Babar lovingly wraps his trunk around my throat.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
That's
see what
what
you're
I'm
going
looking
for.
for,
I see true Indian fan fiction.
I'm looking for pure debauchery here.
Do you think you could ever get into having a harem?
Short. Harem? God, no.
Me neither.
Keeping up with one other human being is hard enough. I have no interest. I mean, if I was the type of person who had a harem, I just wouldn't value, like,
women
as anything
which
other
most
than
people
like
don't.
sex, I guess. Unless I was just paying them and they were all professionals and they were in on it, I guess. I don't fucking know.
How much money
Sex
would you
work
have to
is
have?
Fine. I don't know. If it's a harem, I guess it would be a salary job, wouldn't it?
Dude,
Because you're just supposed to stay there and be available.
yeah, pretty much.
So, like, I guess I just have to pay you as though you were doing it all the time.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that's your
Or I could pay
maybe
them on
that's your
commission.
final level.
Work for it, bitches.
Your final level is no longer taking care of a lion
they're
and
just
like an
whores.
elephant and stuff. You've just got actual other human beings. You go from working in a dog kennel to owning slaves. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate taking care of something else.
Yeah, I'm more of the person who's like, dogs deserve more rights and less of a people deserve less rights kind of person.
I imagine it being very similar to the job that you have now. You basically just replace the women with the dogs with women.
Yeah, I
Same
open up their
living
cage
quarters.
doors. I slide a bowl of food in. I might put some wet food in there with their medicine crushed up in it so that they'll eat it.
Yeah, you put a couple. You'd slather
only
your
if they have
balls in
only if they
peanut
have
butter.
worms or something like that, though.
You slather your balls in peanut butter. Have a little bit of Eric time, as you call it, and then move on to the next dog.
You can only let a few of them out into the yard together at the same time because a lot of them will just fight each other.
Just start pulling each other's hair out.
Pulling out each other's weaves, breaking their nails.
Yeah.
Just it's awful.
It's honestly terrible. It's honestly terrible. Some of them, when they get there, they're already pregnant. They're a real fucking mess.
It's awful when we go to, get them fixed and find out that they were already pregnant. 'Cause then, you just gotta take it all out. So you're just like,
yeah.
It's always a little like, oh, whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it's ever be like, I was about to.
You think about the kennel structure in terms of them being humans, it gets a little weird.
I was going to say whoopsie daisy with an Indian accent, but I couldn't bring myself to stop laughing long enough to say
and obviously, this is actually dog kennel, so there's just a drain in the back. So some of them have the wherewithal to just poop in the corner and then leave it there, but others, they just walk through it and spread it everywhere.
Yeah.
And you really got to hose the whole kennel off after you let them outside, and
you're bathing them with a hose, just spraying them down,
spraying the shit off of them, because
some
you don't
of
give
them
them
are
a
mean. They'll bite, some of
them will bite.
Some of them will snip.
You gotta kind of push them back a little bit,
You had that one that was completely fed on McDonald's.
Yeah. That one tried to attack the drive-through window. It was it was a whole thing.
She wants to order, dude.
Yeah. She wants to be allowed to order, but obviously, no, we don't let them do people stuff.
Yeah, this is India. No, my friend. Cannot happen. You will never order from the fast food menu. She's wanted a burger.
Does India have progressive rights for women?
I
don't know.
They have a really weird,
I know that the caste system is still a thing there, but it's not as ridiculous as it used to be.
India has this thing where a lot of their gods and a lot of their mythological people were women, but their strong women archetypes are the strong mother, stoic, full on pure 100% belief in their son and husbands, and they're still the matriarch of the family. But I don't think they have many legal rights. I could be completely wrong on that, but I know that a lot of their thought process on how women should be is they should be strong and silent.
I've met a few people from India, and they were cool.
If you can call them people, sure.
No, but for real, I've met plenty of people from India, and they were all nice. But I feel like there's a gap in my knowledge right where India is sitting. Culturally speaking, I know about Hinduism.
Well, they are literally the other side of the world.
Yeah,
they are about as close as far away from here you can get.
Culturally, they mix a lot less with the other areas because they've got that little mountain range up in the north that keeps them nice and safe and isolated from. That's why the Mongols never got a good foothold in there.
Do you know that their religion isn't centralized?
Yes, it's actually all over the damn place. No one believes in the exact same thing. It's scattered, and a lot of times individual temples might be only to 2 or 3 specific gods or just one. Yeah. And it's just when people say there's thousands of gods in Hinduism. Yeah, no one's sitting down with a book and stopping and praying to each individual god every single day or anything like that. They kind of just pick one and run with it half the time. I'm a kind of a big Vishnu guy.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you're doing, though.
We say as if we've lived there and know. This
is what I've heard.
This is what we understand from what we've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of individual sects and stuff like that.
Would you go to India?
I'd love to go to India one day.
Yeah.
It's a very, very different place and all, but
where would you want to go?
My
you
little brother
to
went to India in the Marine Corps. He got to meet a lot of the military officers over there are actually Sikhs.
Yeah?
Yeah, 90%.
I don't doubt that. I feel like the
Sikhs have
they have mandatory
they
have mandatory service, I think, right?
The Sikhs, religiously speaking, have always had kind of a militant edge to them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because they've also they're militantly neutral.
Oh yeah,
they will go to war with a group of people to defend a separate group of people's right to practice a religion that is not theirs.
Okay.
They are militantly acceptant of other religions. They're kind of weird about it, and it's because Sikhism kind of sprang into existence in between the grinding stone of Islam and Hinduism brushing against each other there. The sparks from those two religions brushing against each other lit the fire that is Sikhism.
It was basically everybody stopped fighting the religion.
Yeah, and I'm serious.
And fight
holding
the
a
English.
sword is part of the religion. And nowadays, a lot of modern ones just have a necklace with a sword on it, kind of like a cross necklace.
Oh, yeah?
Because this is the modern era, and there's a lot of places that would be inappropriate to walk into with a sword if you want to interact with normal society.
That would be cool, though. You wear a sword around your neck, like a little tiny sword, to be like, yeah, I've got my sword. Check it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. Think about what Christians do. They hang a execution device that their savior was killed on around their necks. So violence and religion, that there's a little bit of, you can't quite separate them all the way from each other.
You strike me as one of those guys who had that realization at a young age that Jesus being hanging on a cross in a lot of rooms is really weird. You've got a dead guy on a torture device hanging from your wall.
Yeah, this device is literally designed to execute someone via a slow torture.
Yeah, I've always thought, not always, I guess, just from a very young age, I found it very disturbing.
It is to have
public
a dying execution
guy.
Device.
I mean, you put that in any other context. You put that in
it's like a
if you had
totem
an
pole
iron,
made out of the heads of your enemies.
Yeah, if you had the Vlad the Impaler stick on the wall, and that was your religion, that's about as weird as having Jesus hanging from the cross.
In case you're not familiar with how Vlad the Impaler actually did the thing, you would take a relatively sharpened stake of wood, taller than a man, and then you would put him anus first onto this sharpened stake of wood, and then you would just basically let gravity do its thing.
Just keep sliding.
And just let him go on down.
Yeah.
Get him to where he's fixed on it and isn't going to fall off, and then just let him keep sinking down until he's dead.
And then eventually you just end up with a bunch of bones on a stick.
Eventually it'll pop up through his neck or mouth or something like that, and, not sure exactly how long it takes to die from that.
Probably not long.
Well, they don't really force you down too much, though. They kind of let your body weight force you down on it.
I feel like you're not going to survive more than a day.
Oh, no,
just from the blood loss alone.
No, you wouldn't survive more than a day. I'm just thinking, how many hours before it penetrates deep enough to, mercifully have your body functions finally fucking stop.
That's a good question. Let's look up how long does it take to die from being impaled.
Well, that's too vague, though, because impalement means a lot more than that specific execution. If I threw a spear at you and it went through your torso and out your back, then you have been impaled. And obviously that's completely different.
Well,
in fact, that might actually be way more survivable, in fact.
Probably a little bit more survivable.
You would definitely need medical attention.
Is there a name for what Vlad the Impaler did specifically? Does it have its own name?
I'm not sure. It probably did. I don't know. The Romanian term for it or something like that. I'm really not sure.
God, my typo. How long does it take to die from being unpaid?
From being unpaid.
Babar, please. I need money. I'm gonna die. How long do you survive after being impaled? There we go. Impalement, the torture and execution method.
Yeah, okay.
Let me see. Methods.
Probably more than one way to do this.
Survival time. The length of time which one managed to survive being on a stake is reported to be as quite varied from a few seconds or minutes to a few hours or even few days.
Ugh.
The Dutch overlords at Batavia seem to have been particularly proficient in prolonging the lifetime of the impaled, one witnessing a man surviving 6 days on the stake.
Jesus Christ.
Another hearing from local surgeons that some could survive 8 days or more. A critical detriment for survival length seems to be precisely how the stake is inserted. If it went into the interior parts and vital organs could easily be damaged, leading to a swift death. However, by letting the stake follow the spine, the impalement procedure not damaging the vital organs, and the person could survive for several days.
Oh.
So that's the trick. You impale it up next to the spine.
You got to make sure you keep it aligned with their back as it's going through their bottom.
Yeah.
And it just stays in the back of the rib cage along the spine.
Yeah.
And then it comes back up right above their collarbone and whatnot. And,
oh my God.
Jesus
Imagine
Christ.
dying that way.
Oh.
What a way to go. Is there? Can you think of another way you would rather?
If only I could warn that guy, like when they're getting you on there, thrash back and forth.
Yeah, thrash as much as possible.
Thrash back and forth as much as you can. Trust me, you won't need to do enough, like too much, and they won't be able to stop you very much.
Yeah.
Just do that. It'll ruin your inner organs and all that kind of stuff. Do not let them get it in there smoothly.
Perfect.
You do not want that.
Is there another execution method where you would be like, yeah, put me on the stake?
One that's worse than being...
Yeah, that's worse than that. Maybe like starving to death?
I'm really not a big fan of suffocation, but...
no breathing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck. You know, we're not doing this. Man, like normally I would say suffocation, worst way to die, you know, just in a general sense.
Yeah, your
like,
body kind of panics and you freak out trying to breathe.
Yeah, that's... no.
I don't know. I'll take that over. I will take that over staking.
Staking, yeah, just like, ooh.
8 days on the stake?
Yeah,
probably not being able to move.
Takes like, a couple minutes, like... Yeah, that's a big risk.
They put you on a stake and they put you up on a hill facing outward like over a hill and you're just paralyzed from having a damaged spine. And you just sit there and suffer until you die after 8 days.
Yeah.
That's good shit right there. God. Human beings have done some fucked up shit to each other.
I wonder if that would be a smart move, like just take like a hammer and chisel, like right to the back of their neck or something, and just sever their spinal cord, like right near the
like
top
Attack
of the ribs.
on Titan.
Yeah, just like sever it right there, leave them completely alive, and then impale them. That way they can't do anything to help themselves. They're completely paralyzed.
Did you ever hear about like torture that they do in Vietnam where they'd like put bamboo shoots up underneath your fingernails and stuff?
Yeah. I think that's one of the more famous ones.
Yeah, that's one of the big ones. That and like electrocuting people on bed frames and stuff. Did you know that like car batteries don't give enough electricity output to be used for torture?
Really?
Yeah. My dad taught me that.
That makes sense because you actually don't need that much energy. The energy for a car comes from the the engine.
Yeah, it takes something like 20 car batteries to be able to like adequately torture somebody with them.
Yeah, car battery just has to. And with the alternator, it doesn't even have to
doesn't have to even repeatedly do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like the car basically runs itself. The battery's just there to provide the initial sparks of electricity to get everything else running.
Dude, when I learned that cars worked basically by smashing gasoline, that's how a diesel works. Like I guess normal cars work by igniting the gasoline, but a diesel works by diesel is so like condensed as a fluid that you can use the tumblers to just smash the diesel, and then it hits it so fast that it sparks and combusts. So diesels don't heat up like normal cars do. So diesels last
slower burning.
Yeah, they last much longer. Diesels can last into the hundreds of thousands of miles in comparison to normal cars because diesel engines don't get hot because they don't use an ignition. They don't use an igniter to light the gasoline. They just smash it with the tumblers or whatever that's called in the motor.
I know that there's
rods.
I haven't looked into it in forever, but I knew that there was a reason why the bigger engines that we use nowadays are all powered by diesel instead of gasoline.
Dude, I always stayed away from diesel just because it seems so fucking expensive.
Yeah, my first car was a diesel.
Was it really?
Mercedes 300 SD turbo diesel.
Was it a manual?
No, it was an automatic.
That boy sounds like it would be a manual.
It was an automatic transmission. It had a sunroof.
How long did it last you?
Let me think.
Because that's the big thing about diesels is
About
they just
5
last
years.
forever.
I sold it.
Did you?
Yeah, like plenty of the automatic stuff had slowly stopped working on it, but because it was an old Mercedes, there was like a manual way to do literally everything on it.
You don't strike me as the type of guy who would drive a diesel. You strike me as the type of guy who would take care of killer whales, have a lion, have a harem.
Boat, man, it was just a big, clunky, old sedan that my grandpa got me as my first car.
What about that? Would you have a boat?
A boat?
Yeah, were you the type of guy, if you got rich, you'd like own a yacht? Would you get yourself like a houseboat?
Well, I like going out on tiny boats on lakes and going fishing.
Yeah, but this is a boat you can fuck. Like this is the fucking boat. You know, you got like a whole bedroom in there, a bar.
I also like cruises.
Yeah. It's basically like your own cruise that you can go ham in. Just take that bad boy out to the water. You and me, we'll go look for a couple of glory holes out there. Maybe, I don't know, go down to Florida.
Is there like a theme with this night?
Go to a Miley Cyrus concert. No, it wasn't Miley. It was Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Tay Swift. Yeah,
Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, put some crocodiles up on stage.
Do some deliveries.
Yeah, deliver some stuff to a few wrong houses.
I don't know if I could see you having a boat. I feel like you would be like, yeah, I've got the boat and I've used it once in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be that guy.
I'd have to have like someone else like using the boat most of the time.
You're more of a canoe guy.
I'd like to go out on like a river or a lake or something.
But you can't fuck on the canoe, Eric.
Yeah, more of a just enjoying nature kind of deal. You know, eat some fish, you know, watch some birds, maybe shoot and eat some birds. I don't know, just depending on
you can get a blowjob in a canoe.
Yeah.
Wonder how many.
You can get a big canoe.
They make big canoes?
Relatively big. I mean,
big enough to fuck in?
Yeah, you can get one big enough to fuck in.
You know,
you might not be able to buy it at Walmart. You might need to look online for a little while.
I was thinking for my anniversary, I was going to take Kira out to the lake. We were going to get I was going to rent a canoe and stuff. And then I was like, I wonder if we could fuck in the canoe. And then I was like, I don't think you could fuck in the canoe. Feels like a good way to like fall over.
Yeah.
Feel like you're just going to fall in the water.
Pretty big canoe. You know, it would have to be.
We'll cut down one of the trees out of the yard and start hollowing it out. Make it like a big ass canoe.
Yeah, if it was like a good 6 feet wide and maybe about twice as long as this table right here, it'd be a pretty damn big canoe, but you could fuck in it.
So approximately the size of your dick.
More or less.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah. Give or take a foot or two.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to, I just kind of ballpark it nowadays. You know,
well, that's what she calls it. She says it's about the size of a ballpark. I mean, she ain't lying.
If the woman doesn't die, she's free to come back. You know, that's pretty much all there is to it. All consenting.
They call you the Impaler. if you can run it up the side of her spine, she can last on there for 8 days.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yep.
Yeah.
Like some of those more hardcore hentai where it comes all the way out her mouth.
Yeah. I think I said this on the podcast already, but somebody asked me why would you watch hentai? I was like, how else am I going to watch an orc fuck a thin elf lady?
I feel like
to where it just completely distorts her body shape into the shape of a massive horse cock. How else am I going to see that?
Yeah, because if anything like that happened in a live action thing, you would be watching a very illegal snuff film.
Like Jerry when he eats the cheese. He's just a block of cheese with a mouse around it. That's what 99% of hentai is. Well,
when it comes to why do you watch hentai? It's just okay, that's like saying why do you watch anime? It's motherfucker, that's a broad fucking category.
It's true.
Okay, much like anime. I watch it for the same reason that I watch the live action stuff. The reason why I move into this is because, much like in anime, their special effects budget is unlimited. They can do whatever they want. Any fantasy scenario, you don't have to have the actors. You don't have to have the special effects budget. You don't have to have stuntmen.
Animation in general, that's the whole point. That's the dream, is you can do whatever. Your imagination runs wild.
Yeah.
That's the appeal of Disney.
There's just as many, stepmom like videos in hentai, just like what's plastered all over the front page of Pornhub and Xvideos.
Oh my god, absolutely.
That
seems more of a Western erotica thing though these days.
I see it plenty in the Japanese shit too.
Do you?
Yeah. It depends on what categories you've been typing in.
Depends on what tags you're using, which websites you go to.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, it can literally be, if it exists in normal porn, it also exists in hentai.
Yeah, of course.
So like do you like porn? Well,
no.
You're probably going to be okay with at least some hentai.
No, I don't like porn at all.
There are some people that are going to be put off by the fact that it's cartoon and that's just going to bother them on some sort of inherent level.
I feel like my dad's like that. Not about hentai, I mean, but just about like animation in general.
Well, yeah, a lot of people from our parents' generations grew up in that period after cartoons had become focused almost entirely on children.
Yeah.
But, because before it became like that, cartoons and drawings were always either for everybody or just adults.
Or the war effort.
Yeah.
A lot of it was for the war effort.
I mean, because the idea of, making media specifically for children wasn't as much of a thing, because children don't, buy things.
Yeah. They didn't have any money.
So,
why would you do that?
Yeah. So, the children's media and cartoons for them and whatnot. It's like the cartoons, especially a long time ago, took a really long time to make. They were very difficult to make.
The 50s must have been the perfect decade to live in.
If you were a straight white Protestant male in the United States,
which both of us are,
yes,
yeah,
then that'd be a pretty good time for you.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, look, things that happened in the 50s. All right. Women couldn't vote, children were quiet, men went to church, men beat their wives, the cars were made in the United States.
We didn't worry about what the minorities were doing.
Yeah, men could drink at work.
And 50s, you could smoke literally everywhere.
You could, dude, every time I see a period piece about the 50s, dude will just pull out a cigarette in the doctor's office and just start puffing away. And people are like, yep, that's absolutely.
Yeah, the doctor hands him an ashtray.
And the doctor's like, let me light that for you. Mm-hmm. It's insane. How did no one think that was bad for you? Was medical technology truly not that far, or was it just I don't know. I tobacco industries?
And I've never been under the impression they're not bad for it.
Right.
Now, I guess I also grew up in the 90s when they were hammering that shit into your brains in literally every children's TV show.
But after only a year of smoking cigarettes, Eric, your lungs feel like you're underwater all the time. Your lungs would go to shit. You'd notice that your lungs don't work as good as they used to if you smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, for sure.
Surely they noticed that in the 50s.
Well, I mean, they were so fucking drunk because they were allowed to drink at work, and they just never fucking noticed.
They're too busy impaling people. They didn't fucking care.
Yeah, I mean, they're too busy getting blowjobs and being served whole chickens by their obedient wives.
They're getting blowjobs in the canoe.
Firing their, $25 rifles, in the backyard.
I'm trying to find a way to wrap this back up and bring it all full circle before we end the podcast. But I can't think of a good way to wrap up the 50s. I'm sitting here what do the 50s have to do with Vlad the Impaler? What do the 50s have to do with Eric training whales? How do we?
Because that was around the time SeaWorld and the like was becoming a thing, I want to say.
See, that's the perfect way to end a podcast. 60s. You just bring it back to an old joke. But I can't. We've gone such a wide berth of
50s, back at the time where whales knew their place and they'd give you blowjobs and you could smoke cigarettes in their pen and stub them out in their blowholes right after fucking them in the blowhole.
That's how you got your half.
But only if you were a white Protestant man.
Yeah, that's how you got your half.
No one else is allowed.
Half Eric, half killer whale animals to have on. Fuck. I'm failing. I'm dropping the ball hard.
So in the future, I'm going to get a time machine. I'm going to go back to the 50s. And I'm going to fuck all the killer whales until there's a bunch of half whale, half
human
hybrids. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have our own zoo where I let people ride my children. Yes. That is the plan.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good enough way to end the podcast. That's
all
a good
right, well,
enough
there we go.
bit. Thank you.